Announcing the commencement of the first purge.
I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Just remember all the good the purge does.
Good morning, it's June 1st, 2018. I'm Eric. How's everyone doing? I hope you're doing well. So I'm here on a article on allnewspipeline.com. The article talks about a Inspector General report that's supposed to be coming out here anytime. Could be today, tomorrow, but anytime. They talk about how this report could have seriously damning information on people who was a part of Obama's administration. Now, one thing I've noticed while reading a lot of these articles is people, they can't shed their bias. And the bias in this article is blatant. The author, and I think it's Stefan Stanford, the author, he focuses solely on crimes committed by Democrats. And, you know, if you want true justice, you want real results, we can't ignore the role everyone plays. The right and the left, they both play their own roles in our demise, and it's very, very important that people understand it's not only Democrats. It's not only Democrats who's out to rob us of our Second Amendment rights. It's not only Democrats who want to restrict free speech. It's not only Democrats who want a tyrannical one-world government. And the bias people have for Donald Trump is utterly insane. It's insane, because your judgment is clouded. And look, I'm not doing this video to bash Trump. Okay, I am consistent with my beliefs, and like I told you while Barack Obama was the president, I do not like politicians. They are all fucking liars. They're all liars. I do not support politicians. Alright? So it has nothing to do personally with Trump. It's all to do with the idea that one group of people believe they have a right to rule over and make demands of the rest of the people. And the rest of the people fucking believe it right along with them. So, anyway, let me minimize my big ass head here. Okay, so as I said, I'm on All News Pipeline. This is an article written by Stefan Stanford. Like I said, I'm not going to read the whole thing. I've already tried to do this video like 4 times. And I keep fucking up, so I'm going to do it differently. So, upcoming release of Inspector General report hints that a massive false flag event may be on the horizon, with a hammer about to drop upon corrupt faction of the deep state. Okay, so right there in the title, they try to separate individuals in the deep state by putting corrupt faction. No, the entire deep state is criminal. All of it. Not the corrupt faction in this title. The whole idea of a deep state, period, is criminal. And here you see, a list of prominent Democrats, and it says our founding fathers would have hung them for treason. And here's the thing: where's John McCain at? Where's all the other Republican traitors? So, Capitol Hill is collectively holding their breath with the announcement that the release of the Inspector General report is expected within the next few days. And while the left is hypocritically frothing at the mouth over recent comments made by Roseanne Barr on Twitter about Valerie Jarrett, if there really is justice in America, Jarrett should be facing execution for treason one day. But what about John McCain? Isn't he a traitor? Didn't he sell out his fellow servicemen in Vietnam? I think he did. I think he did. This August of 2017 article over at Investors Business Daily reported comments which had been made by devious and deceitful anti-Trump deep state spy chiefs proved the swamp must be drained. And the excitement coming out of the mouths of John Brennan and James Clapper and other Clinton cronies ever since have put an explanation point on the Investors Business Daily article. Yeah. Speaking of swamp, didn't Trump pardon the big banks responsible for the 2008 financial collapse or crisis, whatever you want to call it? Didn't he pardon them even though they were guilty of many, many crimes, including fraud, among others? Looks like the fucking swamp just got some more swamp creatures, didn't it? Okay. And they go on to say the excrement coming out of the mouths of John Brennan, James Clapper. Oh, yeah. I already said that. Okay. And as we see detailed within this AMP article, between Valerie Jarrett's ties to Iran and the Muslim Brotherhood, which Obama invited into the White House, and Obama switching sides in the war on terror, enemies of America within have gained vast amounts of previously classified intel that have potentially put our entire nation in grave danger. Okay, well, we have to remember Republicans and Democrats alike have been shipping firearms and other weapons to ISIS and Al-Qaeda and others for a very long time. So shouldn't those people, anyone who's guilty of providing these terrorists material support, you know, like weapons and vehicles, shouldn't they be considered treasonous too? Oh wait, they're not Democrats, so, you know, we can't even think like that. We can't even think of Republicans or conservatives, whatever you want to call them, as being treasonous fucking scum that they are. No, I'm not saying the Democrats aren't treasonous fucking scum. I'm saying that both sides are treasonous fucking scum. And I'm saying that political sycophants on both sides will cry rivers about shit their opponents are doing, but will flat out ignore the crimes of their very leaders. You know, like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton, you know, like the Lolita Express and child sex trafficking and those things. Oh, there's something else I wanted to say about this paragraph. Comments which have been made by... And by the way, it is your job to do everything you can to discredit your enemy. So if you're a Republican running against a Democrat or vice versa, you should probably expect that side to attack you and to release as much information as they can, because you are political enemies at that point. Let's see. Oh yeah, the war on terror. Now, wasn't it George Bush who started this war on terror, or more precisely, the neocons? You know, Dick Cheney, the entire project for a new American Century crew, all of them guys, aren't they conservatives? Didn't they commit treason against the United States by allowing for Saudi hijackers to gain control over, how many aircraft was it? And then to crash them in. They're at least guilty of ignoring warnings that they were given. But I would strongly argue that they needed a new Pearl Harbor. And they said as much just a few months before. And what happened? They got their new Pearl Harbor. Do you think that's coincidence? And Democrat and Republican alike went along with that shit. Just like they're going to go along with attacking Iran. Even though Iran hasn't started a war in hundreds of years. Now, CNS News reported back on March 7th of 2017, FBI files obtained by the government watchdog group Judicial Watch revealed that the father, maternal grandfather, and father-in-law of President Barack Obama's closest advisor, Valerie Jarrett, were hardcore communists under investigation by the U.S. government. But, you know, they'll never mention all the people feeding Israel information illegally. They'll never mention the spying done by Israel on the people of the United States. But hey, we have the big bad communists to worry about. Even though communism was created by Jewish people. Okay, so according to Judicial Watch, Jarrett's father, Dr. James E. Bowman, a pathologist and geneticist, had extensive ties to communists and associations and individuals. The FBI file obtained by Judicial Watch shows that in 1950, Bowman was in communication with a paid Soviet agent, Alfred Stern, who fled to Prague after getting charged with espionage. Dr. James Bowman was also a member of a communist sympathizing group called the Association of Internees and Medical Students, reported Judicial Watch. After his discharge from the Army Medical Corps in 1955, Bowman moved to Iran to work. Valerie Jarrett was born in Iran on November 14, 1956. The Association of Internees and Medical Students, according to the FBI files, is a group that has long been faithful followers of the Communist Party line. Bowman had deep ties to Chicago, where he often collaborated with fellow communists. Valerie Jarrett's father-in-law, Vernon Jarrett, was also another big-time Chicago communist, according to FBI files. For a period of time, Vernon Jarrett appeared on the FBI's security index and was considered a potential communist saboteur who was to be arrested in the event of a conflict with the Soviet socialist republics. According to FBI documents, Vernon Jarrett's job was to write propaganda for a Communist Party front group in Chicago that would disseminate the Communist Party line among the middle class, which I think is very stupid, because the Communist Party line is opposed to the middle class. And so they go on to talk about how these people are all communist and Muslim Brotherhood sympathizers. Jarrett herself still has connections to many communist and extremist groups, including the Muslim Brotherhood. Jarrett and her family also had strong ties to Frank Marshall Davis, a big Obama mentor and Communist Party member with an extensive FBI file. And if I'm not mistaken, I could have swore Frank Marshall Davis was thought to be Obama's father. And again, you know, the people of the United States keep voting for people like Valerie Jarrett. They keep voting for people like Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama, Bernie Sanders, and so on and so forth. Donald Trump. People of this country keep participating in the political system, and they keep getting stupid prizes. Again, if you're going to play stupid games, you should definitely be expecting stupid prizes. And you've gotten them. You've gotten them. So, Inspector General Michael Horowitz has spent over a year investigating the FBI's handling of election probes, and many House Republicans itching to interview FBI officials who handled the Hillary Clinton email scandal based upon the results of his investigation. Massive signs of danger ahead for the corrupted deep state have been thoroughly documented by ANP, or Susan Duclos, in numerous articles. We've also warned we don't expect those who've committed treason against America to go away without manufacturing a final event in an attempt to get rid or get them out of the mess they've created. And they propose that there's going to be a massive false flag attack to get our eyes off of this Inspector General report that's supposedly going to have damning information, but the information that's in the Inspector General report is nothing we don't already know. We already know everything in this report. They think they're going to manufacture this event in an attempt to get them out of the mess they created by selling out America in one last gasp attempt to bring in their long worked towards Islamic totalitarian New World Order. And the New World Order would not be Islamic. They've got it all wrong. The New World Order is Luciferian. They're occultist. They're not Islamic. I mean, this motherfucker forgets that many, many, many Republicans go to the Bohemian Grove. So anyway, they think that many of these school shootings were diversions from negative attention being brought to light against the Democrats and the deep state. But I have to tell you, the deep state is comprised of more than just fucking Democrats. So, as we reported on AMP back on May 19th, a baffling series of school shootings have recently happened almost as in lockstep with the release of damning information about the corruption which oozed from certain members of the Department of Justice and our nation's most preeminent law enforcement agency during the Obama administration. America's most preeminent law enforcement agency was corrupt long before Obama came around. J. Edgar Hoover was a cross-dressing communist homo, spying on everybody. Back on February 12th, Susan Duclos published this article on AMP. A mysterious insider could hold the key that brings the whole Russian house of cards down. Their fucking titles are ridiculously long. Within which she referenced numerous different reports which showed that the entire Russian narrative being pushed by the deep state and the mainstream was a bunch of hogwash. No fucking shit. Why do you think they pushed something they knew ultimately could never be proved? Because they don't want it to be proved. Why aren't they accusing them of things that are provable through, emails and calls and text messages being stored at the National Security Agency? It's all there. Every bit of it. Because they're not pushing a real narrative. They don't really want to prove there is a Russian narrative. They know there's not one. That's why they're pushing it. Because they know it's not true. They know that it can't be proven. So they have everyone's eyes on the Russian narrative while our nation is being transformed right under our noses with the help of a Republican president into a giant electronic prison. If you are a person who thinks like this, that it's only Democrats guilty of treasonous actions against the people of the United States, you really, really need to get your fucking head out of your ass and take a look, a close look at at the people you've been supporting your entire life. Okay. Only 2 days later, the massive shooting took place at Parkland High School in Florida, which took the world's attention away from this mysterious insider and the still unfolding Russian collusion scandal blowing up in the deep state's faces. Fast forward to 3 months later, and this Zero Hedge article, which reported on May 17th that the Inspector General's report on the Hillary Clinton email probe was about to drop, now being in its final review before release, with the report allegedly finding that the FBI and DOJ broke the law in the Clinton probe, with referrals made to prosecutor John Huber to prosecute. We shouldn't be the least bit surprised about what happened next. Just like clockwork, and quite conveniently to those who sold away their allegiance to America and their souls to the devil to get Hillary Clinton elected, we have another massive school shooting down in Texas that may once again railroad attention away from the still slowly awakening masses and focus it once again on the gun debate, where liberals are certain to go crazy in the days and weeks ahead, pushing their gun control agenda. And here's 5 signs of a false flag terror attack. Number 1, horrific images are overused by the media to shock the public. Number 2, drills of a similar attack occur the same day in the same area. Number 3, eyewitness accounts do not match the official story, and allow me to add, they do not match each other's stories a lot of the time. Number 4, conflicting evidence is not repeated by the media. Number 5, used as an excuse to curtail rights or start a war. Now, they ask, might another such event soon be on the horizon should this report contain damning information against the corrupt faction of the deep state? I'm going to stop right there. The entire deep state is corrupt. There is not a corrupt faction. The whole notion of a deep state, of a shadow government, is corrupt on its face. Okay. Might another such event soon be on the horizon should this report contain damning information against corrupt faction of the deep state that put Hillary Clinton and party above America. ANP certainly understands that not all members of the DOJ or FBI have sold out America, and we thank each and every one of them. Yet it's long been warned that a fish rots from the head down. No, I don't think the FBI or the DOJ, because they are corrupt, right-stealing, rights-violating institutions that are headed by extreme control freaks from both sides. They are all lying sacks of fucking shit. As former FBI Assistant Director Chris Swecker reported on Fox News, back in March, President Trump's long-running investigation into deep state crimes against the American people, officially known as the Department of Justice Inspector General report, is expected to contain contents Swecker warns will be pure TNT and will shake the American people to their core. I think they said the same thing about other reports that were released, and they were shit. They were nothing. You really think that these reports are going to tell the American people anything we don't already know? We know the Clintons are corrupt. We know that the government as a whole is pretty much all corrupt. We already know this. So, I want to know when people are going to recognize the fact that it's not just the Clintons. It's the Trumps, the Bushes, the Soros, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. It's all these people. And it's frankly pretty fucking sickening that people are running quarterback for a corrupt president while at the same time playing Mr. Journalist, exposing the evils of the left. Anyway. From this May 17th Breitbart article, which hinted then the direction this was all going. A new report suggests an imminent Inspector General report may rule that FBI and Justice Department officials broke the law in their handling of the Hillary Clinton email investigation. Is that what it was called? An investigation? No, it wasn't. It was no investigation. They made about as much of an investigation as the 9/11 Commission. Anyway, this goes on to talk about all the things these fucking scum have to hide, and by creating a diversion through a major false flag attack. But here's the thing. If all they do is create a diversion, that information is still there. It can still be gotten. Which means that they have to do something that will get rid of the information if they want to lay this issue to rest once and for all. If they don't want to possibly face the court of public backlash, the information has to be gotten rid of. Short-term distractions aren't going to do it. I think these people realize this and are going to have to do something huge to cover their asses. What will that something be? Your guess is as good as mine, but I can say with reasonable certainty that they're going to have to do something. It's not the court system these people have to worry about. It's us. And they're going to have to do something to get rid of the information. Now, I've already taken 40 minutes of your time. I'm going to leave it at this. I hope you all have a great day. And remember, kill the state and live free.